Greetings, celestial angelics of the new paradise found. What once was lost has now been found. We are in the times of the great reunion, the reuniting and the reconnection of our soul star families and our star nations. 111 coming in, and we are experiencing and feeling our connection of the all that I am through the special stargate of the kingdom of heaven within, releasing and letting go all that no longer serves, and activating our highest potential, our highest light, and our highest codes, frequencies, the resonance of pure harmony and pure consciousness. Another night of powerful dreaming and a day of intense activations and waves of energies. Through the night, we had a blackout on the Schumann resonance and then a 50 hertz manifestation, activation from 5D. Today is day 19 of the new earth anchoring fully into the 3D world bridgers, the rainbow bridge fully activated and fully open. I'm going to read again today from Divine Sister of the Light, S.A. Smith, A Girl in the Universe. Schumann resonance blacks out hours out of time. The Schumann resonance blacked out overnight from 10 p.m. Eastern to 4 a.m. and then goes out again at 4:30 a.m. Eastern and still going as of this post. This is not the first time we've seen Schumann blackout. Each time this has happened, it coincides with a large energetic shift in the collective. Did you feel the shift energy over the last 12 hours? Did you feel extreme fatigue, vertigo, vivid dreams in the last 12 hours? Big things are happening, and this is proof for the collective that we are moving forward. As we go in and out of these shifts, oftentimes the Schumann stops reporting. In days to come, you might see them fill in the blacked out areas with a repeating copy and paste pattern. They like to do that, and it's very obvious, but you still know you experience an out-of-time experience. Big things are here. We are in it. There's no waiting. Ascension is on high. We have something big happening over the next 2 weeks. Be ready to step into your role as the light warrior that you are. This just entails being fully in your light, your knowing, and your truths. You are amazing and can do anything you put your energy to. You are a creator being. Time to start creating the world around as you want it to be. You are divine after all. From agirlintheuniverse.com. And today, over the last 24 hours, we had an uptick in earthquake activities and activations with 176 M1.5 or greater earthquakes in the past 24 hours. The most powerful in our sacred portal with the Mayan energies in Guatemala with a 5.9, 14 into the 5. Early today with the Atlantean energies, divine masculine, south of the Tropic of Capricorn in the South Atlantic Ocean, we had a 4.9, and this was in the southern mid-Atlantic ridge, and a 5.0 off the coast of Oregon, close to where we're anchoring in this grid here out west with a 3.8, the 11 code. Coming in Indonesia on the Ring of Fire, 4.8 with the 12, Divine Feminine, 221 kilometers depth. And then in the Dominican Republic with the Atlantean energies, again, 3.7, 74 kilometers depth, the 77, the Sacred 77, Japan, Hokkaido, 4.8 with the 12, Divine Goddess energies. Then in the Sacred Portal of South America in the Andes Mountains, Esmeraldas, Ecuador, with a 4.7, 11 code, 1111, the second portal to my sacred condor, then in 5.4 again in the southern mid-Atlantic ridge with the divine masculine, the Council of Nine coming in Indonesia, 4.7, Dominican Republic, 3.6, and then another 5.2, southern mid-Atlantic ridge, Japan again 5.2, Tonopah, Nevada 3.9, Papua New Guinea, the Lemurian energies with a 5.1, and then a 5.9 again in Guatemala, just south of Guatemala, and the sacred portal El Salvador 4.5, Council of 9, 73 kilometers depth. Council of 9 connecting us to heaven on earth to 37 and to the 73. And then again in Russia today. And the crown, this was in the eastern Russia, 4.7. Puerto Rico, 3.4. And then a 4.8 with the 12 code. Esmeraldas, Ecuador, again, 36 kilometers depth. 369 of the Nikola Tesla codes. Puerto Rico, 3.3. 33, Divine Mastery, Japan, 4.3. A 5.1 again in Papua New Guinea. Argentina, South America, where our sacred condor flies high in the Andes Mountains, 4.7. In the portal of Iran, 5.5. Guatemala, 4.9 with the 13. The sacred code of Divine Goddess. The Mammoth Lakes, California, 3.9 with the 12. Divine Feminine. Philippines, 4.6 with the Lemurian energy. And then a 5.1 in Indonesia. We had a 4.3 again in Iran. 4.9 Indonesia. Another 4.1 Guatemala. Peru, South America. The Kundalini of the Earth, 4.6. Aleutian Islands in the crown of Lemuria, 4.4, 206 kilometers depth. Then Fox Islands of the Aleutian Islands, 3.2. Multiple activations in the crown today. The crown is open. The Katika channel flowing with the sacred Kundalini of the rainbow serpent and the feathered serpent. Eagle and the condor fly together freely. Hirosgamos, then a 5.0 in Chile, South America, then south of Panama, 4.3, and a 5.2 south of Panama. These are all along the ring of fire. The ring of fire totally lit up. Goddess fully awakening. Gaia rising through the 5D energies into 7D, 9D, and all the way to 13th dimension, source, center, with the power of total stillness and silence. The heart center is being fully activated. We start today with the Sabian symbols. Right now, the moon at 28 degrees, 38 minutes Aquarius. The sun is at 25 degrees, 54 minutes Capricorn. The current Sabian symbol for the moon at 29 degree Aquarius. Butterfly emerging from a chrysalis. And the Sabian symbol for 26 degree Capricorn for the sun, a nature spirit dancing in the mist of a waterfall. From astrologyweekly.com. Today from Divine Sister of the Light, Elena Adams. This recalibration is expanding us beyond all proportions. An alchemical transformation. I honor you for being in touch with your divine process. Do not fear even the darkest moments. You have been going through a huge shift into the new you. You are doing everything right. Alignment is nigh, beloved light bearer. Hope will become knowing, and knowing will become your truth, always. Being a light worker required work on you. For the earth you have cleared and tilled of weeds, and what you have planted within you will become your greatest vision of life. A garden called Eden. Within you, paradise. Behold, for all is at hand. Alanora. Today from Divine Sister of the Light, Lisa Marie Wright. The 3D reality is imploding. Victory is assured. We build anew on a solid foundation of pure, unconditional love and service to the highest good of all. Be at peace with it all. Freedom forevermore. And from Crystal and Indigo Guide to the Galaxy, Athens, Greece, January 15, 2021. Magic is on. Even people who had mostly a materialistic perception of the world, or were processing things mentally and were in denial of anything beyond 3D reality, have been having metaphysical experiences and are coming out of the deep sleep of consciousness. Hearts and spirits are awakening. As Earth's field is altering, the higher selves are working extra time, ringing the alarm clock of coming back to life, pushing transformation, and bringing miracles on. Magic has begun. Erini. And today from Divine Sister of the Light, Carolyn, Servant of Yahweh. Congratulations on your very new beginning that has commenced. This will become more clear as we continue forward to the very powerful Leo full moon, January 28, 2021. We are witnessing the decoding and recoding of mankind in this flesh. Today's energies indicate that we have completed clearing the seed point entity in pornography. Thank you everyone that has helped the Most High clear this Whore of Babylon with me for the past 3 years. These spells are being decoded out of humanity now. All praises to the Most High. The new recoded mankind is pure and holy for milk and honey union in the flesh. The Most High is asking you to trust in Him to bring you your bridegroom as part of the new mankind. He is quickly making His presence known in your life, ushering in all Holy Grail counterparts for unions. This is because all interferences from our original soul's blueprint have been removed, especially from the age of Pisces. Now all genetic matches to the Grail codes will be known 144. The truth is in your DNA. This is a time of great significance. We are moving off into new territory quickly. Surrender all that you have been juggling in love and relationships to feel in control. That old reality is over. There is nothing left to cling to. Relax. Keep focusing up and on God, ready and receiving. Today from Divine Bro Star of the Light Pars Kute, everything that is happening in this now moment is in divine order, which is helping to actually birth a new civilization on our planet Earth. It's actually helping to birth a civilization that is far exceeding the expectations of each and every one of us, and a new civilization that will be founded not on fear, not on control, not with manipulation, but of a civilization that will be founded on love, a civilization that would be founded on unity, and a civilization that would be founded with peace. What you are seeing is a third-dimensional matrix and grid system literally falling apart. It is blowing apart at the seams. It no longer can stand the test of time going forward. It no longer can be part of what we are rolling forward with, and all of us that are going to the fifth dimension. It'll be for the highest and greatest good of humanity. We are birthing a new civilization. We are birthing a divine order out of all this chaos on this planet. There is always a divine plan in place. Our divinity far exceeds this lower third-dimensional realm and what is going on here. Our divinity is to go to the fifth dimension. Our divinity is to be children of the light of a higher vibration and a higher dimension, and to be children of light that are living in peace, that are living with compassion, that are living with love in their hearts, and that are navigating from their hearts. We are going to take our freedom back. We are going to take our free will back, and we're going to push through all of this very quickly. We have picked the higher timelines. We're picking the timelines to ascend as quickly as we can. And we're picking the timelines that are really going to create a new earth, a new world. We are really birthing an earth that is going to be of perfection. We are birthing an earth and a world that is really going to hold so much compassion and love and justice for all. We have to pick the higher timelines, and not only the higher timelines for us, but the higher timelines for all the collective as well. And we are well on our way to the fifth dimension. We are rolling through as our lineage is to be up on the fifth dimension. It's going to be a unified collective, but a collective and a unified body of light, with sacred love of one, Pars Kute. And from Divine Sister of the Light, Judith Kusel, old souls so often have experienced so much during other lifetimes on earth and beyond that when they do incarnate in their last lifetime on earth, they will find that their path through life is very specialized. It is futile for old souls to compare themselves with other souls, for indeed, if they have gone through experiences and mastered soul lessons in the lifetimes before, they need not go through this again. And this is especially true where marriage and partnerships is concerned. These will take on a much higher form and expression in the new earth, and thus all becomes redundant which has been in the 3D and old earth. It is therefore important to understand this and not allow romanticized programming to run you, but to truly seek within you for your unique path and unique guidance. This especially for those souls who last lifetime this is on earth. It is a totally new ballgame emerging, and with its sacred union in the highest degrees, which is based on wholeness and thus complementing each other, but at the same time never overshadowing each other, nor losing themselves in the other. It is thus a much higher dimensional partnership where ownership is not involved, and is a sacred agreement between two souls on the same journey together. The most sacred journey. More than this, a lot of souls will be reunited with their true divine complement, who may not be incarnated, as they are of a much higher dimensional state and may not be embodied at this time. Some may take on embodiment in the new earth, as they can then walk the higher dimensional earth, especially the seventh, and not need to change their higher dimensional form, for the earth will accelerate into the ninth and then next 1,000 earth years as known now. From JudithKusel.com. Today from Divine Sister of the Light, Lisa Renee. From Energetic Synthesis. As many of us are well aware, the past weeks have been mounting with interdimensional spiritual warfare, which also translates on the surface as covert military operations that are engaged in the endgame battle against the globalist controllers or Luciferian bloodline families, which is going to the next stage very quickly to reveal the beginning of the disclosure timeline. Things will likely escalate into reports of news with assorted global conflicts that will sound extremely scary, as in reports of preludes of global warfare and nuclear weapon warring. When things are appearing to be really dire on the external, please remember that things are not at all what they seem to be. Right now, we are in the height of false flags, agent provocateur, controlled opposition, blatant lies and falsity, deep fake videos, and every propaganda tool they can come up with to keep the public confused and terrorized. This is a momentous time for human liberation, but we will need to become more discerning and be aware that the propaganda is military-grade warfare used to target us with demoralizing fears. Do not succumb. Work your tools, pray and meditate. This is time for radical self-care and knowing your limits and inner child issues. Propaganda is used for the purpose of psychological manipulation to generate mental fabrications and emotional reactions that are intended for seizing a control, power, benefits, and advantages as the victim's expense. The mainstream media is propaganda, and it is not accurate. This is more aggressive than ever. The American public is being targeted with complex military-grade psychological warfare and propaganda. If you find yourself being triggered, it may be best to retire from any mainstream outlet, as they are all owned and controlled by the satanic council members. The outer reality of the mainstream controlled narrative is now crumbling and in a free fall. It does appear that the free fall towards exposing truth, towards global disclosure, has an epicenter which is within the United States, and to which the web of the transnational criminal syndicates is being exposed through several foreign countries that have major tentacles operating in the corporatocracy that control the United States through the shadow government. The next stage will likely be finding alternative news channels, newly built social media platforms, and online sites that transmit more accurate news to the masses of the current events transpiring. This requires the main 6 propaganda media corporations and their outlets to be taken down systematically, while communication back channels and emergency broadcast systems are ready to go as the main news sources reporting to the awakening public. The only way accurate news can be given outside of CIA Mockingbird intelligence mind control programming is to circumvent the controlled mainstream media sites, and this is now the phase where this behemoth can be toppled over successfully. In this phase, the darkness that resides in the minds and hearts of those corrupted by power, wealth, and depravity is being revealed to the masses. This will send a ripple of shock and fear through those that are unprepared or have been asleep to these hidden events. When they are awakened to see the reality of power, elite, pedivores, and criminal psychopaths that have been acting above the law and controlling the mainstream narrative of global society, the lightning strike of shocking changes is upon us as the global dark night of the soul, in which the lies, delusions, and falsity of the controlled mainstream narrative that gave us a false sense of security will crumble away. This phase of spiritual growth can bring shocking inner and outer change and greater self-realization. It is time of great personal turmoil when we go through the process of seeing blind spots and deceptions in many situations. When we see these lies and our blind spots, the places we were naive or just plain wrong. Now, what will you do with this new knowledge, and how will you manage the changes happening around us while facing the shocking truth? What is currently happening is a major lifestyle and cultural upheaval. Life as we have known it in the past is ending. For many, this is a major existential and spiritual crisis, bringing on normal reactions of grief, anger, sadness, confusion, sleepless nights, and even facing confrontations with others that have been less than truthful. We're going to have an awful lot of very angry people when they find out how much they have been lied to and betrayed by those public figures they trusted. When we are undergoing a change in the foundation of our sense of security and identity, it penetrates to the deepest core of our being, reverberating shock waves that force us to get out of personal comfort zones and to emotionally and spiritually grow beyond the current level. Remember that the artificial facades, self-delusions, and barriers are going to fall, whether you like it or not, because we have reached a collective limit in this area, and we can no longer live with it. Crimes against humanity must be accounted for, and in order for humanity to heal, we must live to see true justice in our society and at a cosmic level. Although this phase of spiritual growth is very hard, we all have to undergo this process of discerning and seeing the truth. No one gets away from this critical piece of spiritual ascension. The mountain of ego, pain body, deceptions, facades, illusions, manipulations, and emotional bait hooks must be destroyed so that you are free to face truth and gain an accurate sense of reality without false attachments. There are some of us on the spiritual path that are holding space for others, loved ones around us that will be undergoing this intense process of lightning strike and shocking changes. Our loved ones, friends, and acquaintances may be bewildered and confused about what is occurring. They may begin to show signs of trauma, projecting assorted images. They may have faulty memory. They may be acting out of past life archetypes. They may feel threatened and terrorized with survival fears in the future. They are unable to deeply understand all that is happening because they are utterly overwhelmed with the intense energies forcing consciousness transformation, which surface deep emotional pain and grief. To hold a clear and unconditionally loving space for such intense forms of spiritual alchemy, it is important to hold complete observer towards the process, even when it can be painful to watch people we care about endure such intense pain, confusion, and grief. In spiritual community, this is a call for self-mastery and compassionate witnessing, and never ever taking on another person's emotional process or disjointed perceptions when they are in the deep and heated battle of inner Armageddon, while the ego construct is flailing about in its death throes. The most important relationships we have is with our higher power, God, and the inner relationship we have with ourselves. We go within to find that all we ever need is existing inside of us for the purpose of building an impenetrable connection in your direct relationship with God by focusing on the highest service to God that can be in this moment. In that, it is all that matters. This is a virtue-building exercise that will build incredible spiritual strength. This is that moment we must go within and rely on the inner feeling inside our heart, the truth as we know it right now, focusing on the inner connection and being aligned to one's personal values, praying and meditating to strengthen our direct communication with God and our inner spirit in all ways that we can. Stay awake as we traverse the valley of the shadow of death. On the other side of destruction is creation, which awaits the deeper illumination of higher consciousness that we, lightworkers and starseeds, have worked so hard to achieve. Be confident in your inner knowing that this is the event that we came to participate and witness on the earth, the massive transformation of global awakening, disclosure events, and the process of catalyzing spiritual ascension of human beings on planet Earth. Know in your heart that this is as it needs to be, and it is time now. May the spirits of Christ walk with you in the spirit of purity, generosity, patience, kindness, discipline, conservation, diligence, and humility. Do not be scared. We are all in this together. Love, eternal. Lisa from energeticsynthesis.com. Today from Isis Channelings. Foundational deconstruction and reconstruction in progress as we have crossed the bridge to begin anew on pillars of sovereignty. An intense wave swept through yesterday which could have been felt as intense fatigue combined with flu-like symptoms necessitating deep rest and sleep. I was shown that we have crossed the gateway into the new timeline on the 11th of January. And just like when we move to a new house or city or country, we need to let go of some of our old ways of living, doing and being, and adopt new ways of living, doing and being, so as to enter into a harmonious relationship with our new environment. Similarly, when we enter a new timeline, there needs to be much adjustment, and that is precisely what these energy waves are supporting us with, the ability to reboot to a new reality. These waves predominantly work as shifting foundations as Venus Inanna has descended into the root chakra on the same day, January 11th, for the next 1 month, which brings the focus on our foundations, our sense home, security, and belongingness. Also, as mentioned earlier, the energies of Set, god of chaos and confusion, are in evidence, which means that those foundations that have been built on the distorted masculine energies, especially with respect to lusting over power and control for vanity-motivated reasons, will be rocked so that new foundations may be built based on the divine masculine and divine feminine principle. We have entered the gateway of the new timeline, and now the process of laying the foundational bricks of this new world begins. When a new house is built, first the land is cleared of shrubs, bushes, and weeds, the garbage removed or burnt, and the land is dug up deep before the new foundations can be built. We are in the same process of removing the old to make place for the new. We came for this deconstruction and new co-creation. We are the bridge of transmutation and transformation, the new song of creation of God's will, truth. We are the alchemists of the new world. The new foundation has to be supported equally by the divine masculine and divine feminine as the primary pillars, and this process will be felt as with and as without personally on a planetary scale. All that which aligns with the distorted masculine and feminine within and without will be highlighted, make us feel extremely uncomfortable so they can be replaced with its higher evolved version. Remember, when triggered, to recenter and balance and choose from a place of sovereignty, deeply rooted in your gifts and attributes, which gives you the confidence to overcome fear as an agent of God's will as opposed to herd mentality and what is perceived as the established status quo, as that is often rooted in fear. Be light, in joy. IsisChannelings.wordpress.com. Today from Divine Sister of the Light, Adrian Elise. Gaia Daily, January 15 through the 18th. Something beautiful is happening. Jupiter is coming into exact square to Uranus and Mars. Mars has just passed over his square with Saturn, activating the greater conjunction and ushering in the new age. In Aquarius, Jupiter is ready to expand into the new energy and paradigm, but in square to Mars and Uranus there is tension around our value system. We have accepted so much BS in our world based on false, fake, face value. This astrology says in order to move this evolution forward, we need real substance. We are seeing behind the curtain of Oz and through the thin veil of the fake veneer of this reality. With Neptune coming into exact square with the nodes of the moon, it's really difficult to figure out what is true and what is delusion. I'll tell you one thing, what is playing out in the world and media and politics is total illusion. We are watching a movie. What is important to understand right now is there are good forces of actual substance behind the scenes. For years, this team has been working to break the spell of the satanic cult that has kept humanity as prisoners for thousands of years. They are using their own tool against them. They are using the movie, the delusion, against the delusionists to break the spells of this great illusion. This is the dissolution of the false lower matrix reality. This means that all the lies must come crashing down. In the coming days and weeks, be prepared to come into awareness of things that will blow your mind. Welcome to the Great Awakening. The spell has been broken, and now we deal with the fallout. As humanity comes into acute awareness of all the painful and disgusting lies, all must come to the surface in order for humanity to heal and move forward. This is where you amazing supernova souls come in. It's time to play your card by using your special talents and skills to hold fast to the greater vibrational truth of what's really happening. This is a spiritual awakening. By bringing your attention back to the bigger picture, this truth, you are playing a very important role. These Uranus transits are showing you your true spiritual wealth and just how powerful you really are. As much as you can, it's your job to stay in the vibration of the excitement of what is to come. It's your time to believe and know and hold the faith that what is happening is biblical, profound, spiritual revelation. The positive energies of possibility are increasing every day. The best way to support the masses through this dramatic part of the movie is to let yourself live in the waking dream of this exciting new world that is being birthed right now. You have been working, planning, and waiting lifetimes for this moment. Here we are together. We made it. It's happening. Two sources, supernovasouls.com and adrianelise.com. Today, from Shamanic Astrology Mystery School, Divine Sister Mary Kern. As the moon moves into Pisces today, 2:17 p.m. PST, its compassionate healing energy is most appreciated after a wild week of dynamic planetary alignments. Uranus stationed direct yesterday, beginning 16 days of all planets in direct motion until January 30th, when Mercury stations retrograde. When all planets are moving forward, we consider this a time of full speed ahead. If you took the opportunity at Tuesday's new moon to imagine into what you desire to create, with all planets in direct motion, the universe can support you as you carry your plans into action at the first quarter moon, January 20th. Setting intentions, planning, taking action, and manifesting always works with more ease when we acknowledge and work with the moon phases and are aligned with our own purpose. Mercury in Aquarius brings expanded perception and cognition. Mercury, activated by the Uranus square on Tuesday and conjunct the moon in Aquarius yesterday, may have inspired a grander, more innovative view of what you wish to create in the world. And today, from Divine Sister of the Light Leah Whitehorse, Lua Astrology, Mercury in Aquarius opposite Hygeia, retrograde in Leo. Mercury enters the shadow zone of its upcoming retrograde, which begins at the end of the month. It means that the thoughts and discussions we have now are likely to be reviewed later down the line. We've been hurtling forwards, thinking ahead, swept up in political conversations, and news and talk of health and sickness. But we need time to catch up with ourselves. We need time to breathe, time to reflect. Hygeia is about preventative medicine, and the topic for discussion is mental health. With Hygeia and Leo, the doctor recommends plays an antidote to a scattered mind and too much isolation, with many avenues of entertainment unavailable currently. The skies ask us to engage with our creative imagination, the kind that sustained us in childhood with wonder and joy. Invent a little game to keep you amused. Draw, finger paint, play charades, or let's pretend. Build a blanket fort, camp in the garden. Think pre-digital to rest the mind from an overload of information. Talk to a friend if you are struggling. From LeahWhitehorse.com. And today from the Archangelic Calendar, Arcturian Archangel Connection. It's all a work. The Kingdom Timeline. We are making a difference. Gaia is in Circe's will. Circe, our galaxy, acts upon the infinite universe's will. The current setting element is straight up fire, which in this context is more appropriately called sacred flame. This setting incites transmutation on all dimensions and aspects of reality. We see a significant influence from the Christos Incrementum and the Festival of Lights events marked by the two new columns It seems that no matter what is happening, the lights will be pouring in massive quantities. The legions are more potent than ever, and the work is providing dramatic results. Archangel Isaac, Archangel Chaeliel, and Archangel Vahumana have done so many fantastic engineering feats, it would be irresponsible for us not to single them out. The work going on behind the scenes cannot be understood. Philosophical buffet. If you ever feel unappreciated, unloved, and misunderstood, rest easy knowing that who you are about to become loves you deeply. Remember that all division parts lead to infinitely expanding creator source. We work for the macro, and thus have omnipotence from all situations. All others have their subconscious constructs run by divinity, and then have a choice in their cognition. Some call this the loophole of free will. Let us not teach our children to respect someone based on race, sex, or status. Let us introduce our kids to love and accept all people regardless of their self-imposed labels. Many people hide behind false meekness to perform vicious acts of malice. Look past all words and view actions in higher regards than words. Marketing has made everything a cliché, unless the general masses stereotypically recognize it. The general population does not compute it. The well-programmed only resonate with TV cliches and will dismiss anything not in mainstream media. Buddha said that the second you incorporate even the purest message, it loses its meaning. This is an extreme version of what he said. False promises are rampant these days, especially within the spiritual community. If you're going to put something out there to inspire hope, it must follow through as truth, or you will do more harm than good. Most people have no business in the leadership department, but they proceed because they are obsessed with receiving attention. We have spoken at great length as to why impulses come from an evil macro source. If you cannot control your impulses and addictions, then your impulses are coming from this malicious macro, and it is useful to reattach to the infinite source of divine knowing. By tuning into your own soul's divine rhythms, the influence of your impulses will be helpful instead of harmful. Nobody is more or less important than anybody else. Even those with a prestigious career are not more or less important than a street sweeper. Just because someone seems useful, it does not make them more or less important than anyone else. Each person fulfills a specific purpose to the universe, and all of them are of equal importance. Rethinking reality. Is this a science experiment, or is this life sentient? We must work within the divine to change the macro settings, and it is well within our power to do so. We will not rest until the unnecessary pain and suffering of humanity cease. We are assigned to change the universal settings and how things work. It is not out of our reach to set this in such a way that creates an ideal universe. However, this will not eliminate evil as we know it. It merely allows those in need of such experiences to exist in a universe where that is possible. If you look at this from another timeline, this will seem magical and mysterious, but it will seem commonplace and appropriate from our higher perspectives. Our end of reality is nicknamed the Kingdom Timeline for a reason. We accept things positive and negative as one inside of a divine universal body. Cancer can be part of a body. It doesn't mean we should allow it to flourish. The cells turning cancerous would serve the body much better in a healthier state than in sickness. As we said way back, the Schumann would hit a median of 300 to 500. Again, we must also reiterate that this is not a complete reading. Now that we establish this, we can confidently see the Schumann hitting the thousands as the spin of Earth speeds up. These readings will go up and down as it makes its way through these intervals. Is there truly a difference between an archangel and an Arcturian? Is there a difference between yourself and your higher dimensional self? Even though in both regards they are not exclusive to each other. You are welcome to assist the lower timelines from a distance, but do not engage directly. Massive soul retrieval, not bodies but souls. 5D relevance. Every single micro-personality has been weighed and set. Now it's the macro's turn for deep dissection. Since we are here, we are aware that you want us to finish telling the story of what happens after civil unrest lands on the organizers' doors. The story goes like this. They will look for answers in the prophets and sages. It is good to go back to those posts and see the timing that we are involved. A pitfall helps everything fall into perspective. Laying on the bottom of nothingness enables you to know where you need to be. This divine challenge is not to be confused with the overdramatic syndrome plaguing lower dimensional society at the moment. Many beings will be falling off the proverbial deep end and emerging into a bizarre alternative reality. While we can quantumly take this statement, we can also take this logically, as if you feed off drama, you will find a way to experience it daily. Professional wrestling has a term for an elaborate cinematic fictional storytelling called a work. In a work, the story blurs the lines of real life and the stage. The only people who truly know that it's a work are the wrestlers involved in the drama. Even the fellow cast members are not in on the plot, as the wrestlers involved will never break kayfabe character. There isn't too much going on the lower timelines that are not at work. Caribbean seismic activity will rise again, but this time Gaia made the event. We welcome the very talented galactic builders from the Orion constellation into the Builders Legion. I need to remind you how much better we made this experience because of our hard work. The events of modern times are minimal compared to what could have been. You can hold your head high knowing that you truly made a difference. The momentum in Australia has finally shifted to healing. Kudos to the team's hard work. The tools and assignments for today are in the link in the description below this video. Today from the Zolkin Times, Kin 3-2, Yellow Rhythmic Human. The number 6 is called rhythmic and its keywords are organize, equality, and balance. Get into a rhythm today and organize yourself. Sometimes you have to take care of business. We need to address balance in our lives to make sure we are grounded and not always in our busy minds so much. If you want to think straight, sort out your personal space and your workspace, and you'll find energy will flow better in those environments. It's easier to balance our minds when our lives are organized. Today is Yellow Human, which represents channel, wisdom, and free will. Obviously, today is about organizing the human. These days are always full of intuitive flashes when insights seem to pop into your head out of nowhere. Humans are channels, vessels designed to receive communication from spirit. This wisdom is given freely to us, but we can use our free will to decide what to do with the insights we receive. Since organization is the rhythm for day, this suggests that any information you channel may be in regards to practical matters you have on your mind. If you need answers, strive to calm your mind so you may hear that inner voice. Sometimes we are too distracted to hear the message. The guide for today is also Yellow Human, a double helping of psychic activity. Today from Divine Sister of the Light, Christina Papagiorgio, Yellow Rhythmic Human, Kin 32-15, January 2021, Influence of Divine Wisdom, 15-1-2021 equal 15-1-5, 6-6 equal 12 equal 3, 15 Charisma, Magnetism, Spiritual Alchemy, 6 Heaven, Christ, Harmony, Romance, Family, 1 New Beginnings, Original Leader, 5 Freedom, Liberation, Change, Transformation, 3 Holy Trinity, Joy, Creativity, Kin 32 equal 5 Freedom, Liberation, Change. A beautiful heavenly day to connect your free will to that of divine will, to bring forth healing, balance, and liberation in your life. Tone of creation, rhythmic, tone 6 in the physical realm. Action balances, power organizes, essence equality. The rhythmic phase is the one where this all-adventuring and radiating miracle that is you learns to walk, but consciously, precisely, with fine organizational instincts. And what superb balance we see. Very soon you have mastered walking and are up and running. Go forth and explore your territory. Day 6 in the blue hand wave spell of accomplishing healing on all levels, through accessing greater knowledge and skills. The 6th day is filled with organizing our physical reality, so bring forth equality and balance. The codes are emphasizing balance and becoming whole again, especially relating to our physical bodies. Rhythmic is also the feng shui tone, which encourages you to clear your space today to afford greater healing in your personal sanctuary. Bring in more plants, aromas, candles, essential oils, incense, and beautiful objects and pictures. Use more motivational pictures and affirmations, natural materials, vibrant colors, flowers, and the elements and sounds of nature to bring more calm and harmony to your mind and body for complete rejuvenation. The blue hand seals the store of accomplishment, bringing forth completion. We can seek guidance today that will resolve any lingering issues that have burdened us in relation to our healing and coming back to wholeness through our divine self. The more humans that elevate their thinking and frequency through greater illumination, the quicker we heal our planetary body. As greater numbers of souls awaken and accept responsibility for their light, each day the sooner we reach critical mass for our planetary ascension. Gaia has raised her frequency and requires a planetary body of enlightened human beings, God-man, to co-create beauty and harmony with her in this next chapter. God's army is always in need of more human angels to do his work on earth. Today's question is, what wiser choices can you make through divine guidance to bring about greater healing to your body and others, to restore balance in your life and our world? Divine blessings for miraculous healing accomplishments today. And Lakek ala Kin, Christina White, Magnetic World Bridger, Kin 66. Kin 3-2, Yellow, Rhythmic Human. The mantra, the code for today is, I organize in order to influence, balancing wisdom. I seal the process of free will. With the rhythmic tone of equality, I am guided by the power of my own power doubled. And on this powerful day of illumination and activation, let us know, beloved beings of light, in the comments below, what you're feeling, what you're seeing, your visions, your dreams, and your synchronicities. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and click the subscribe button below and the little bell to get notifications on future updates. And as always, we have a link in the description below the video to the transcriptions of today's transmissions, and we archive these on our website, primedisclosure.com. I'd like to also thank everyone for your support and pledges on Patreon. We are relying 100% on pledges and donations from all of you to keep these daily transmissions going and for our daily living expenses, so we appreciate you all. I'd like to welcome and thank Divine Sister of the Light, Mary Sharon, for your pledge and support on Patreon. I'd like to also thank Divine Sister of the Light, Wendy High, for raising your pledge. And welcome to the Council of 12. And thank you, Bro Star of the Light, Lehigh, for joining us. And I'd like to also thank Divine Angel of the Light, Lugene Wood, for raising their pledge. And also thank God Said What Up for also raising your pledge on Patreon today. And I'd like to also thank Divine Sister of the Light, Heather Chipperfield, for raising her pledge on Patreon today. Thank you all for stepping up to the plate and supporting us on our great mission. We are in the acceleration timeline of manifesting the first healing retreat center, so we have a higher tier for those of the first of the Council of 12 that will invest in our first healing retreat center, and from there we will invest part of the proceeds into future healing retreat centers around the world. But we have to start basically from square one, so it's because of all of you that this will become possible, and we don't know the timeline, but we have several stepping up to the plate, and many of you that are supporting us on this great mission of the Eagle and the Condor and the Heros Gamos, and many great things are to come. So bear with us, hang in there. Thank you all. We're working every day towards this goal and to help all of our teams and Earth Angelics on this great ascension and great awakening. If you would like to support our work and mission, you can make a pledge on patreon.com/Prime Disclosure. We also have a link below to our PayPal page for donations. I'd like to take a moment to thank Divine Sister of the Light, Mary Kozad, for your donation today. We truly appreciate you all. And I'd like to thank everyone supporting my Sacred Condor on her art business on Etsy. You can purchase her goddess totems right now on lunagoddessart.com. And I'd like to thank Divine Sister of the Light, Karen Myler, for sending us the spiritual gifts. We received them. The Condor and myself loved what you sent, and we're going to use a couple of these items on our magical dragon staff we call Merlin. And my queen is going to use several of the items on her future art and her goddess totems that we'll be bringing to the public very soon. And I will probably release the video that was only released to our Patreon people with the dragon staff, which we will be in the process very soon of transforming to a very powerful healing staff of Merlin that we will be using in our healing centers and in our work of medicine man, white gold eagle, and medicine woman, black gold condor, together in divine union to transmit the highest healing codes, the divine union, the divine love, and divine abundance for all of humanity. Aho. So I'd like to end today's transmission first by reiterating what I had transmitted a couple days ago about the mantra of day by day, in every way I'm getting better and better. This is a reminder to write down your goals on a note card, what you want to achieve. And for many it is to seek their divine counterpart, to re-merge, to reconnect in divine union. So you can list 5 to 10 things you want to see on the new earth. And on the back of the note card, write day by day, in every way I'm getting better and better. And morning, noon, and night, read that mantra, and then read to yourself what you wrote on the card, 5 to 10 things that you want to achieve, that your vision of the new earth, of heaven on earth. And do this every day, and don't show anyone what is on that card, and let us know the transformations that come out of this. The powers of manifestation are accelerating every day. Our powers of co-creation are fully activated now. And part of the vision is to hold whatever that is that you seek. You know what that is now. You know what your mission is. And it is nothing to be in doubt. You have total courage and total faith to achieve your dreams, to live your passions. So hold your focus, hold your vision for at least a 73-second count of what it is exactly you want in your life, and you want to live and want to be and want to see, want to achieve. For bro stars and sis stars of the light, we are the dream makers. We do not fake our reality. We do not fake our dreams. We bring them into our realities through our heart center, and we manifest them with pure joy, with our sacred chi, with our heavenly chi, our heavenly energy, our holy energy, through the Holy Spirit and through our sacred vessel, here now, in this eternal paradise we call eternal bliss consciousness. So we end today with a sacred mantra from Alana Fairchild through the Isis Oracle cards. And this is a mantra from Isis, our mother goddess and alchemist, to bring forth healing miracles today. So take a deep breath and feel into the energies of these vibrations, of these words, and live from your heart. Earth angelics of light. Life flows through me unobscured. From past hurts I am now cured. I meet my life blossoming anew. My inner light shines bright and true. Isis, Isis, Mother of divine perfection, through your grace I have resurrection. And we are resurrecting our true light, our true love, and our true passion, here now through our rainbow bridge in our heart center, using the power of our mind and the power of our spirit to fly free and to live the life of eternal abundance and infinite love, appreciation, and gratitude for all that we are and all that we have and that all that we are being and can be in our pure state of beingness. So keep walking your sacred path with total faith and total courage. Royal lions of the Lyran nation rising up, shining brightly into the night. The eagle and condor love you all. Namaste.